Now comes the last part of raising awareness through your genes, through your DNA. Now, if you are aware, which is the main objective of this entire program, your awareness is at the level of the cell, at the level of the DNA. Now, every DNA is interacting with other DNAs and sending signals to your entire body to keep it restored or keep it in sick state. I mentioned to you that every part of your body is regenerating or getting destroyed. If you keep sending the same signals, it cannot regenerate. Whereas it has only one principle to keep it intact. So if you're keeping on sending the signals of sickness, the signal that I'm tired, those genes light up on and off like Christmas or Diwali lights. Now these DNA and these genes are defined based on your interpretation of reality. Your interpretation of reality. Two people go on a roller coaster. One person enjoys and he produces serotonin. The other person is stressed and he produces cortisol. So your interpretation of what that experience is defining your DNA, making you sick or keeping you well. So if you don't change your interpretation, don't change your perception of life, drop that victimhood that I am bichara, this is happening with me and I have to do all the hard work. If you're still stuck in doership, then those genes are constantly giving those signals of stress to your entire body. And you can achieve only that much in a certain amount of time and day. So be aware of how you're interpreting life, because that intelligence is coded in your DNA. Every cell of your body is eavesdropping on every thought that you have. So think before you think. Human beings have great tenacity to cling on to old and false beliefs. It's up to us to release those beliefs that don't serve us anymore. It's up to us to release those aspects of the past which are gone and beyond. And we've already transformed in so many ways, but we have that memory of the past intact. So it's up to us to release all these aspects which are stored in the DNA. There are 5 specific aspects which are stored. One is your collective consciousness and collective memory that all of human beings have. Simple example, that potatoes make you fat. I'm being very honest. There could be another planet where that belief is not encoded in the genes and in the DNA and it doesn't make you fat. I'm not talking about metabolizing and I'm not talking about lifestyle any which way. I'm just talking about collective memory, collective beliefs. Apart from collective beliefs, which might have been affected at some point in time, even what your ancestors and your parents believe, right or wrong, immaterial, has been passed on to you. So if your parents had a fear of something, it has been passed on to you. And here comes the very famous experiment of 2 mice, and they kind of scared them every time they brought the mice in front of cherry blossom trees. Okay? They would give them a fear sort of experience, kind of giving them an electric shock. Now these mice got so fearful of cherry blossom trees that the next time they would even see it without the shock, they would create a current in their body. This experiment is reality, but this fear, it doesn't just stop here. This fear has got passed on to the next generation of mice. This fear gets passed on to the next generation of children. So we have the fears of our parents. We have even their strengths. But if we have to evolve, we have to heal those aspects of the self which don't serve us anymore. Because this passes on, not from the first generation alone, from generations. If you had a lineage of pain or trauma or depression or sickness, it's up to you to break that by healing that lineage which is stored in your DNA, which is called our subconscious, which is called, in this sense, cellular intelligence. And the last thing is the trauma that you have picked up in this lifetime. If you have picked up the trauma of a failed relationship, of loss, of betrayal, if you have picked up aspects where you have lost money or you were unloved when you were growing up, or you're too scared about what's going to happen to your loved one, or you're too insecure that how will my XYZ partner relationship thrive without me. All of these aspects are encoded and they become hard-code programming in your DNA. And I need you to be so aware that if you focus on one thought and resolve it, your entire body releases that energy. And this is the purging that I spoke of, that one of you experienced in that meditation. Because it's released from a very deep cellular level, gets released from your entire system. So that is the segment of healing where I want and encourage each of you to focus on a highly calibrated body, mind and heart, so that you're aware in the level of the soul.